Hey babes, what's up? So I am about to tell you how my second trimester went. Today I'm 27 weeks, whoop whoop, and that means that I'm officially in the third trimester now. We're in the home stretch, I'm feeling great, so I wanted to explain all of my symptoms and what I went through during my second trimester. So let's begin. Okay, so your second trimester begins at 14 weeks. 14 weeks was my only time that I felt any sort of illness or I felt very, very tired or just down. I just didn't feel like myself for the first time throughout the whole pregnancy. Was week 14, and my OBGYN said that that could have been because at week 14 the gender's already decided. You start getting a rush of hormones depending if it's a boy or a girl, and in my case it was a girl, and all of that estrogen is known to make people nauseous. So again, I never threw up per se. I only got I felt like I was about to throw up. It wasn't anything serious. Obviously all of my mamas out there that were sick know how bad it could have been. I give you guys props and I feel so bad for you guys, but I was lucky enough not to experience anything too horrible. At week 14, David and I decided to go to Perfect Preview in Williamsville, who can early identify gender pretty accurately. I believe their numbers are like 99% and 98%. Obviously they can't say that they're 100% right every single time. They were for us. But at 14 weeks they say we can see your gender early. The reason why we wanted to do this is because I had family coming in town. My sister and my brother both live out of state, so we wanted to be able to share the news with them of what we were having. So we decided to go early. It did cost a little bit of money. I believe for the gender we paid $80. I'm not sure, I'll double check that. And I'll put the link below for a Perfect Preview if you are in the Buffalo area and you do want to do this. It was an amazing experience. She was so sweet, so kind. There was leather couches, a full-on bed with blankets to make me feel comfortable, a huge screen TV, not like a regular TV, like a gigantic TV specifically for this. For the $80, we spent 20 minutes with her, and she went through everything. Those are her toes, her hands, etc., her face, look at her nose. And then we were searching for the gender. So it was very long, and we received the whole thing on a DVD. So we were able to tell our family through DVD of her gender, which was so cute. David and I said we loved it and we would do it again if we have another baby. We're for sure going back there. If David and I had waited until 18 weeks where they begin to do those anatomy sonograms, we had our schedules 4.5 weeks after my family would have left. So I was just a little disappointed. I wanted them to be able to experience something exciting with this pregnancy. But my immediate siblings I feel bad for because they haven't been able to be part of anything other than a quick phone call or a text. So that was really nice to be able to do. So after Perfect Preview, I had planned to do a gender reveal party. But once we found out the news and it wasn't what we expected, I could not keep it in. I was going crazy. I was just so surprised and excited and nervous and all these emotions you feel when we were driving. I was like, you know what, David? Go to my grandma's house. So directly after Perfect Preview in Williamsville, we stopped in Cheektowaga to see my grandma. And perfect timing, my mom was on her way to go get my grandma to go shopping. So we brought in the DVD and had told grandma, hey, we have a DVD of the last sonogram. Do you want to see your great grandbaby? Great grandma Garbaz watched the DVD and was able to tell the gender right away. So she was very excited. And my mom, she was just ecstatic. She shrieked and was so happy and kept telling me, I told you so, I told you so. So it was great. Obviously we had to make the board even, so then we drove all the way to Easter Road to tell David's family as well. So we sat his parents down. They guessed it early. They're like, oh, in the sono, do you find out the gender? So we were like, oh, I don't know, you'll have to see. So they kind of guessed, which is okay, but so yeah, that's how we told our families. We didn't even do anything fun. I really wanted to do confetti or balloons and a big party. It just didn't work out that way because my emotions were just so high that I couldn't wait. I hope that I have the patience to do it next child, because I would love to do a gender reveal party to bring everyone together. But I can't complain. I'm still happy the way we did it. And the Perfect Preview DVD was like perfect because it's a nice long sono, and then it says I'm a girl, and she typed it out really cute, and it was just perfect. So that's how we told our immediate family. So that was 14 weeks. That was the beginning of June. I believe June 14th started my second trimester. Directly after my week 14, week 15, I started to feel better again. I got my energy back. I felt great. At this time, I started feeling the round ligament pain. That's the pain that you feel in these ligaments in your stomach while your stomach is growing. I didn't have extreme pain, but it was noticeable. It was almost like you were stretching for a really long time, or maybe you had a really good workout and your stomach muscles are just sore. That pain came and went as days went on. It was not a big deal again. I just drank a ton of water, stayed hydrated, walked a lot, stretched at night, and that seemed to help my round ligament pain. On July 4th weekend, like I was saying, my siblings came in from out of town, so we had everyone sit on the couch and we faked a picture, like a family photo, before everyone goes home at the end of the weekend. And we screamed 1, 2, 3, it's a girl. At first, everyone like kind of just sat there smiling for the photo, which is so funny. But I think everyone was so surprised because we were so determined for it to be a boy. We already had the boy's name. I told my nephew Blaze that what we were gonna name him if it was a boy. So he was saying the name the whole weekend, like I'm gonna do this with him, I'm gonna do that with him, I'm gonna teach him this. So it was even funnier that it was a girl. Everyone else we kind of just told. It wasn't like a big deal or anything. His aunts and uncles we gave the picture to that said I'm a girl, so they were able to know, which was exciting as well. So we didn't do anything crazy special. I would have, like I said, loved to do a cheap option, even if it was just like a picture, but it's okay. We are so ecstatic, and I wouldn't change what we did. So the anatomy scan. At 18 to 20 weeks, they will do a sonogram of your baby, which they go through every single little piece of their body. I had my first one done on July 22nd. It went well. She was flipping and flipping and flipping, and they couldn't get any pictures done that they needed done. So they did everything that they could, but since she was so active, they asked me to come back to finish up some heart pictures. So our next one was 4 weeks from then, which was August something. So we went back in, and of course she was in the worst position possible for a sonogram. Her head was facing downward, and all you could see was her back of her spine and her butt. So you couldn't see into the heart, you couldn't see anything. They couldn't even get a picture of her face. I think I got one picture of her foot, and that was really it. So unfortunately, my OB only does 2 attempts for the heart pictures, and after that you have to go to a cardiologist. So we went to a cardio echo. So we went, everything checked out, thank God, and we have a healthy little girl. Yay. Word of advice is if you do have to go for an echo, just keep yourself relaxed, because the anxiety isn't good for the baby either. And everything will be okay either way. If there's something wrong with the baby, you just make those decisions and it will be okay. Like they tell you all the time, babies are resilient, so are mamas. So just be strong and be confident, and you'll get through it. In my second trimester, I also completed my entire nursery as much as I could do, as you can see. My mom and I painted the entire nursery. We finally found a color that we liked after David and I tried about 9 different samples. It was crazy. Finished the nursery as much as we could before the shower. That way we have all of the storage and everything's clean and ready to go for when we get those clothes and when I do that laundry. It has a place. I think that when you have a pile of stuff building up like a mountain, it can be very nerve-wracking, and for me, it gives me anxiety. It straight up just like freaks me out. So to have somewhere for it to go that I don't see, you open and close the door, is perfect. What else did I do my second trimester? oh my gosh, everything. I mean, I really went crazy. I cleaned out my entire mudroom. I was really in a nesting cleaning mode. So I threw out a ton of stuff, went through all my DVDs, went through everything I could, and got rid of all the old stuff that's just sitting around for no reason at all. That stuff drives me crazy. So that's what I did my second trimester. I spent any time I had off from work literally organizing, cleaning, and throwing away. Okay, so around week 24, so we're getting towards the end of the second trimester now, there was a huge drop in her movement. So like I said, the first anatomy scan, she was flipping and going crazy and kicking, and I could feel her literally like once every 5 seconds, all day, all night. So when her activity rate went down, I got nervous. I have a bunch of those pregnancy apps, and they all say kick counts. You should at least have 8 in 2 hours. So I did get really nervous. I started doing kick counts and it just wasn't equaling out. So I called my OB/GYN and they had me come in for a Doppler, and everything was fine. And thank God I did that, because I would have been stressing out all night. They stayed after hours for me. They waited till I was out of work at 5 o'clock, and they just did a simple Doppler and to reassure, and felt and waited to feel for her themselves. So it was just really a nice peace of mind. They said around 24 to 26 weeks they get a lot of calls of moms freaking out because the baby's growing and gaining fat, and maybe they're just in a really nice position. At this point, they start to kind of nestle into where they want to be for the whole third trimester. So it wasn't too concerning to them, but it was concerning to me as a first-time mom. So if you experience this, call your OB. If you're nervous, call your OB. If you ever think anything's not normal, why take the risk? So I just say go ahead and call and be that person. The only other thing that I experienced during my second trimester is, I finished that today, was my glucose test. So around 26 to God knows when, 32 I think it is, they give you a script to go get a glucose test. They give you this sugary drink, and you have to drink it within 5 minutes, and then an hour later they test your blood. I had the best experience ever. I mean, I don't have my results back yet, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock on wood while I'm here. But sugary drink wasn't that bad. I had flavor orange. Some people say the orange made them puke. It tasted like flat orange soda to me. It wasn't a big deal. So I chugged that down, and then they put me up in a room which just had a recliner and a television, and said wait for an hour. So I literally almost fell asleep. I was very comfortable and very happy. I watched The View. Like, it was just not a big deal at all. I'm glad I went where I went, because I've heard some places don't have like those private rooms. So I really lucked out that way. If I have to go back for the 3-hour test, I'm definitely gonna go back to that exact same place too. So my glucose test was today. Hopefully everything checks out. I am a good candidate for having gestational diabetes. I have diabetes in my family. My dad had hypertension his whole life. So I was overweight before I was pregnant. There's just a lot of check marks that scream gestational diabetes. So I just hope that everything's okay, because so far everything's been great. Everything's checked out the way it's supposed to be. I had my doctor's appointment early this morning, my 27-week doctor's appointment, and I'm actually -3 pounds still. So even though this baby's growing and larger, and she should be about 2 pounds, almost 2.3 pounds, somehow I'm losing weight still. I don't look like it. I look bigger than I've ever looked, obviously, but something's shifting and something's doing something, because I just haven't gained weight yet. So, which is great. I'm not going to complain. So I'm just going to check really fast. I wrote down all my symptoms just in case I would miss anything. I went through everything. Oh, but I did miss out. So around week 17 or 18, I noticed my boobs started leaking. I was massaging the sides. They said sometimes, I read an article about breastfeeding and preparing yourself to breastfeed. So they said massage the sides where those underwire bras hit, because sometimes those ducts can be clogged and locked down and not good. So I was massaging my breasts on the sides for a while, for a couple weeks or so, and I noticed that every time I did that, my boobs would leak. So no more doing that. They naturally do sometimes. I noticed in the shower, in a hot shower, they'll leak. And also when I went to go see my girlfriend who just had a baby, when he started crying, my boobs were also leaking. So I think my body's just preparing myself to breastfeed, which is great news. Dave and I made the decision last night to hire my friend Naomi as our doula. So she's going to come to our home when I begin the labor process and help me manage that pain and help David through some techniques and maybe teach us some new things. So that's very exciting. So we are going to have an at-home doula. And then when we go to the hospital, when it's time to go to the hospital, she'll go ahead and go home and I'll have my mom and David in the room with me. So we're very excited about that. I'm reading about a lot of different techniques, a lot of different things to do for managing the pain. I am going to try and do this in natural birth. I'm not making any promises. I might skip out and chicken out and just ask for that epidural, but I really would love to do this drug-free. I really would love my baby to not get any of that. That's where I'm at now. Tonight, David and I, we try out our first Lamaze class, so if I'm allowed to photo, I'm definitely going to sneak some pictures. But yeah, so we're just starting our third trimester. We got to finish up the little baby touch-ups in this nursery. Like on the ceiling, there's a crack I want to fix, but nothing big. And then we're just going to keep decluttering and preparing ourselves. And my shower is now less than 20 days away. So I am very excited and I am pumped to get December going. So with the cool weather coming, I'm just, yay, Hercules, Hercules. So I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to go take a 10-minute nap before my Lamaze class. Alright guys, I love you and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.